And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and yeah, I was a little late on getting this video up. Yeah, things happen. But you know what? I make it worth the wait, because this is a video that even if you know, you don't know. Yes, because you know that even though Raze went to the Dollar Tree of all places, and he found a bunch of $1 super pet figures and miniature figures, and had to go a little nuts and grab them all that he saw anyway. I don't know if they've made any more, because there's no checklist on the back of these. So I have no idea if this is all they made, or just all that they had available. But they are based on the League of the Superpets, the animated movie that came out. And there was a lot more to that movie than the casual observer, or the casual viewer would have known. But to a DC nut like Raze, who has gone through the history of DC, yeah, there were some Easter eggs, and Raze is gonna share them with you. So let's put this jackass away. Yeah, dude, you don't have any pets anyway. You are a pet. You're my inanimate attitude pet. So there were 5 of these things, and I picked up all of them. And you know, I could show this I could show them off in the order in which they're showcased in the movie. That would make a lot of sense. I could showcase them, you know, by who played them. You know, just like the order and appearance of their I could do that in the placement of, you know, how popular they are, or I could do it in the way of how they appear in the movie. Like, I am so totally repeating myself, I don't even get it. I am like so bad at this. If you ever thought that Raze has a script, I think I've pretty much proven that I don't. So the way I have decided that I am going to present these characters is in reverse order in which they first appeared at all. These characters are either the actual character or based on a character, for most of them, that have actually existed in DC Comics. And I thought it would be fun to show you who the real OG, I guess you'd say, as far as who did they create for this movie, and who already existed in some form or fashion. And what are we going to start with? Who's it going to be? Who does Raze start with as far as the newest character, the only character that was created for the movie? Can you guess? Can you guess? Some of you guys probably have it down between 2, and half of you are wrong. The character that was created specifically for this movie was PB, the Potbelly Pig. She is, she's a lot of fun. Yeah, her insecurity, she was able to swell enormous or shrink down very small. PB is probably one of the sweetest characters that is in this little collection here. And she had a lot of Wonder Woman envy. And yeah, she was just adorable all the way around. Let's take her out and have a look at her real quick. It's so cute. I love the little tuft of hair on the top. It's not a tuft of hair. It's actually her, it's actually a Wonder Woman headdress, tiara. She's actually wearing a Wonder Woman tiara. Um, and she was created just for the show. But what I find cute and clever is in the Batman, or not the Batman animated series, in the Justice League animated series, there was an episode where Wonder Woman gets turned into a pig. And they have to basically find this pig that used to be Wonder Woman and reverse, I believe, Morgan Le Fay's spell, or one of the many magic users in the DC universe. Probably Circe, to be honest, now that I think about it, because that's actually Wonder Woman villain. Turns her into a pig, and essentially that episode was a lot of fun. Not only did it have Wonder Woman running around as a pig, but it also featured, as part of the reversing of the spell, was Batman singing to the pig. Yes, there is a whole scene of in the Justice League animated series. I don't remember if it was the Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, but yes, Batman sings to a pig. They even made a figure of it in the animated line that I actually purchased for a fellow YouTuber at one point, because she was wanting that one and I had the opportunity to get it. So I helped her out. So I sent that over to her. And yeah, so this is actually the second Wonder Woman based pig that you could have gotten. But yeah, she definitely had a great storyline, and it was definitely worth checking out. She was a sweet character, and yeah, I mean, I love miniatures, so I had to get them. The next newest character that had come out, and this is a character that already existed in the DC universe, and while they altered him, they altered his origin, and it is Chip the Squirrel. And honestly, even the way they name him Chip, C-H-I-P. He's actually basically a version of Chip, the Green Lantern, C-H''P, he's not an actual squirrel. He comes from a race of beings that look like anthropomorphic squirrels. While he speaks in his chittery, whatever, he in this he is actually due to the ring, he can translate, and he speaks normally. And yeah, that's a character that was introduced in 1982. And let's go ahead and take this guy out and have a look at him. The crazy thing, and like part of the way they change him in this show, in this movie, is he is a regular squirrel, and like PB, he gets exposed to orange kryptonite, which has appeared in the DC universe at times, but never really. It showed up in the Teen Titans animated series, but since there were no super Kryptonian characters in there, you didn't really get to see what happened to it. And I believe it shows up in the Superpets comic series. But yeah, otherwise, it's basically, that's kind of while it was named, it's not heavily used, so nobody was really sure, it was a easy thing for them to take and use in the movie. In this case, the orange kryptonite bestowed powers on a regular animal. Chip and PB and the other three being, of course, the characters that are endowed with powers. Chip gets lightning-based powers because he's an anxiety-ridden little squirrel, and so when he freaks out, he freaks out. And I think it's cute that they tried to pull it back a little bit, because at the end, they actually have the Jessica Cruz Green Lantern in the movie, and that version, she gets pulled back and she adopts the squirrel, and he even mentions towards the end that she even put a ring on it. So now he's an electrified squirrel with a power ring, which that, I mean, I understand like trying to keep the character true, but at the same time, if you decided you wanted to have a squirrel as a pet, would you put one of the most powerful weapons in the universe on it? It doesn't really make a whole heck of a lot of sense. But still, I mean, Chip, the comic book character, has appeared in Green Lantern, in the Green Lantern lore for a long time. He's a classic. I actually think I've got a Funko Pop that came in a Green Lantern Core 3 pack that had a Funko Pop of the a couple different lanterns, and Chip was one of them. But in this case, since it's the movie, they're showing off the little ring, the ring, whatnot. So that's that. That's that character, or the version of the character. So I am going to. We're gonna go. Who do you think is the next character that was introduced? We have Merton the Turtle. We have Crypto the Super Dog, and we have Ace the Bat Hound. I will let you take a moment to think about this. The answer to said question earlier: who is the next character that, in reverse order, like we're going youngest to oldest here, as far as the characters they used in the DC Super Pets, the next one in line is actually Ace the Bat Hound, who has quite a history when you look at it. He is actually voiced by Kevin Hart, which honestly, when you listen to it, is perfect. And and the fun bit about the casting of the characters in the League of Super Pets is Batman. The voice for Batman is actually Keanu Reeves, and it's a really great tongue-in-cheek Keanu Reeves as Batman. It's actually really funny. Some of the jokes in there, you know, just totally work, and with Keanu Reeves' voice being the kind of going the darker John Wick style, it totally makes some of the jokes land so well, and it works. It's so good. But yes, but yeah, Ace the Bat Hound, we are going to take out and have a look at. So in the movie, Ace is in the pet store where he is exposed to the orange kryptonite, and essentially he's given invulnerability, and it's not a bad power for a dog to have, because I mean, honestly, dogs can get a little rambunctious, and they can run without thinking and hurt themselves rather easily. So it's him having invulnerability really kind of works. But the actual Ace the Bat Hound was actually created by the original Bat creator. I'm talking about Bill Finger. Bill Finger created most of the Bat universe, and Ace the Bat Hound is no exception. So the fact that I've said Bill Finger should let you know Ace came out in 1955. That's how old this character is. And obviously it's not the same. We've had a couple of different versions of Ace. He had his own animated series for a while, which I think was absolutely awesome. You had... he made an appearance. There was a character of Ace the Bat Hound in Batman Beyond. He showed up there. They've got a current version in the comics because they have to, because Damian Wayne is an animal lover and collector, and I mean, he's even got a bat cow, which I am so glad that they did not include in this this collection, or put in that movie. But the original two, I want to say two incarnations of Ace the Bat Hound, were basically dogs. I mean, it's always been a different breed. Every Ace the Bat Hound is a different breed. And in one case, he was just your basic hound dog. And in later comic incarnations, he became a big, shaggy, much bigger, much shaggier dog. But the one thing that they kept between the two is that while the dog was brown, he had a patch of black fur in the shape of the bat symbol. And in the shape of the bat, like in the bat symbol. And I always found it was funny that they just, I mean, he was loyal to Bruce and Dick, and but they didn't, I mean, he was seen in the there's a dog in the Batmobile, because he just kind of jumps in and stays. And they realized that this little telltale mark isn't going to do well having this dog like following them around, because the dog doesn't care if you're wearing a costume or not. He's going to follow around his owners. So what they actually do is they put the mask and cowl over that marking. So when he's in disguise, you can't see that he's got a bat symbol in his fur, but Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson have a dog with a bat symbol on them. The later version pretty much just hung out in the Batcave, and basically almost like a home security type thing, where it didn't really do much, but like Batman saw the shape and had to keep him there. And earlier though, he used to go out on adventures with him with his little cowl on, and it was just classic Golden Age fun, as far as, you know, having a dog that has the bat symbol in its fur, and you have to cover it up when it goes crime fighting, because otherwise it's like, yeah, just Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson just happen to have a dog that has a bat symbol in its fur. But probably, I mean, one of the things I loved about the movie is that, you know, it kind of turns into a buddy thing where, you know, Kevin Hart's Ace the Bat Hound and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock's Crypto, the Superdog, really kind of click and, you know, grow into friends, even though initially they can't stand each other. And it's another The Rock and Kevin Hart movie that you really get to enjoy the chemistry between those two, just taking jabs back and forth at each other. And the movie had a lot going for itself, but that's one of the things that just pushed it right over the top, for me anyway. But yes, he is 1955. That's when Ace the Bat Hound first appeared. So let's move on to the next guy, which should not be much of a surprise, because like the previous one, Crypto the Superdog was basically created only a few months before Ace the Bat Hound. And as you can imagine, that is primarily because comic books follow trends. And once Crypto showed up in Superboy and was Superboy's best pal, it just, everything Superman got, Batman got too. All the way down to, I'm trying to think of examples. I mean, Mr. Mxyzptlk was created for Superman, and soon after you had Batman, or Batmite, who did the exact same thing to Batman. So if it happened to Superman, chances are there was a good possibility it was going to be introduced into the Bat lore as well, because these were the two big heavy hitters, and you can't let them be unique. But yes, in this incarnation, he is a dog that is basically sent with Kal-El in the rocket ship, and he's tasked with taking care of baby Kal-El. And they become, just obviously they become master and owner, and Crypto is, I almost want to say super loyalty, but I'll get back into that a little bit more. Because, yes, Crypto basically does something in here to seemingly sacrifice himself for Superman, played by the same guy that played Jim Halpert in The Office. And thinking of him, I wouldn't necessarily put him as Superman, but his voice absolutely works in this show. So that totally works. So, yeah, dude, I haven't even taken him out yet. In the movie itself, Crypto actually gets hit with kryptonite that robs his powers. So while he's training everybody else into being a super team, he's the only one without powers for a good portion of the movie. And he's forced to become a regular dog, something he's never had to do before. Which, that in itself kind of bugs me, just because on Krypton he was a normal dog. But I suppose, that's kind of how it works. The comic book legacy of Crypto is kind of vast and rich. There's always, when they introduce Crypto, there's always, he either came in the ship, he came in another ship that was delayed, just much like Supergirl. But he was from Krypton, and yes, he gets, he's basically Superman's pet dog. They have, I believe they've done a couple of adaptations as far as Superman, Super Pups. He's had his own animated series, I believe. He has cropped up on time. I remember years ago when I first got my little cousin was very, very young. And, of course, Uncle Raze had to put out, or Cousin Raze had to bring over many, many animated series, superhero based, so he could watch them. And I saw the opportunity because DC Direct had actually put out a Crypto the Super Pup stuffed animal, and it had wires in the legs, so he could be like standing like a normal dog, or he could actually put his legs out. So it looked like he was flying, and he came with a little collar that said "Property of Superman" with the super cape behind him. And it's really not hard, as you can see here, just having a white dog with a red Superman cape. It's not that difficult. But when you really think about it, if you've got a little kid, that kid absolutely loved that thing. That Superman's dog he actually would tie a rope around its neck and lead it around like it was an actual dog on a leash. And he absolutely loved that thing. And basically, it didn't survive. Because kids play rough with things, and he played with that thing all the time. When you consider how many people were getting him more expensive presents and everything, trying to impress him, yeah, nothing worked like the little stuffed animal of a dog wearing a Superman cape. Just remember that. A Superman and a dog combined, what little boy isn't going to absolutely love that? But, yeah, Crypto's got a long history, and I'm going a little bit long because he does have one of the richest histories of all the characters. And when I mentioned earlier super loyalty, in the Silver Age, or in the story Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, written by Alan Moore, and it's one of the few Superman comics that has ever caused a tear to come out of Raze's eyes. you don't think reading a comic book is going to make you cry, but yeah, that was essentially made to basically be the death of the Silver Age Superman, because the Crisis on Infinite Earths was coming up, and they were getting ready to bust out the modern age, and while the Golden Age Superman showing up quite a bit in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, basically the Silver Age Superman was meant to disappear and be replaced by the current one. And Alan Moore decided to write a story called Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. And in that story, Superman is visited by the Legion of the Superheroes and warned that after that date in history, Superman never appears. So they're pretty sure that's the day he's going to die. And, of course, this gets out because the Legion of Supervillains sends some people out, and they start looking around. They want to be the reason Superman doesn't exist anymore. And, the more it gets out, because obviously, in the Silver Age, you couldn't keep stuff like that a secret, and it's in the freaking newspaper the same day. And all of Superman's villains come out of the woodwork to because the way it's supposed to go is Superman battles his greatest villain and is never heard from again. So every Superman villain that gets this information wants to be that person. As a matter of fact, Lex Luthor is so convinced that it's going to be him, actually takes the robotic Brainiac and attempts to mind meld the two of them to become a much bigger adversary, because the combination of Lex Luthor and Brainiac is pretty insane. Or it was at the time, but since they did a version of that in the Justice League animated series, it was something that was revisited. But yeah, one of the characters that comes out is actually the Kryptonite Man, which you would think would be really easy as far as coming out and killing Superman. But what doesn't happen is Krypto comes charging out, defending its master on the day it believes he's going to die, and viciously fights the Kryptonite Man. And yeah, Krypto, even though orange Kryptonite is the one that tends to affect the pets, green Kryptonite will kill a Kryptonian, and Krypto is a Kryptonian. And while he bites the throat out of the Kryptonite Man and kills him, which, that tells you how deep they dug as far as defending his master, because, soups don't kill. He like I said, the original incarnation was just a white dog. One of the most heartbreaking panels is that while Krypto does take out the Kryptonite Man, he is so full of kryptonite radiation that even his fur has turned green. And Superman can't even go up and pet him and thank him for defending his life and, being willing to kill to protect him. And so the sad story of the Silver Age Krypto is that he is essentially put on a meteor with a doghouse and left to die, because there was really nothing else to do with him. And yeah, to show that much loyalty only to be so dangerous at that point that not even his master can thank him for that, it was just heartbreaking. And it killed me. And you're gonna have to give me a minute. Okay. So I'm back. I just needed a minute. So now we are to the end of our list of characters, and this will probably shock the crap out of you, that Merton the Turtle is the only one left. And he's also the oldest character. Merton, or what was he called? The Terrific Whatsit, actually came out in 1944. He was a parody of the Flash, and obviously he didn't look anything like the Merton the Turtle that is in the show. He actually had a Golden Age Flash helmet, which in here the wings from the Golden Age Flash helmet are on the shell, which was a clue, obviously. But he did meet up with the Golden Age Flash. And he actually wore a version of the Flash's costume. And surprisingly enough, Merton has, like, been around. He showed up later on in the comics to whenever they needed a Flash. The joke being the obvious one here, Turtle with super speed. But yeah, he appeared periodically, and he has actually become part of the Flash lore. He made an appearance even in Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew, being a Golden Age hero from their universe, where you had Fastback, which was the turtle that had super speed in the Zoo Crew bunch, and he considered the Terrific What's-It to be his actual hero. And it was something that was really when this came out, probably nobody realized that this was the character with the longest legacy. This being the oldest character in the movie, short of the actual owner counterparts like Superman and Batman, obviously. But yeah, it was one of those things that even seeing it, I got the hint as far as the wings on the shell, but I didn't even realize it went back that far until I actually, I thought it was a little too on the nose, so I had to check it out. But we're going to go ahead and take this guy out and have a look at him. So they've got a nice little pose going on here, and the one leg going back as if he was getting ready to start running. And the funny thing is that the voice of Merton the Turtle is actually Natasha Naomi. Which, what? But I guess technically she has sounded like an old man her entire life. Somebody's going to be mad about that. But yeah, it's kind of amazing that Merton has never been forgotten, or that the Terrific What's-It, because even the Terrific What's-It is kind of a really Golden Age name, and yeah, it's just kind of like, what the heck? That is a really strange thing to bring back, and it's impressive that they went back that far, but was even more impressive because, like I said, I did, after watching the movie, check out more about the Terrific What's-It, or looking up the Merton the Turtle, because, initially I just wanted to look. I'm like, did that really happen? And then when I found out it did, I was really surprised with how far back it actually went. I thought, this is a freaking Golden Age character. Which makes sense because turtles are very long-lasting. But the only thing that impressed me more than that is looking at how much they've actually done. The Flash TV series, twice in the Flash TV series, Iris shows off her childhood stuffed turtle named Merton. And that makes actually 2 appearances in the Arrowverse, I guess you'd say. So to believe that this Golden Age character made its way all the way through time, sporadically turning up, that means there are people out there that are big fans of Merton the Turtle and probably love the fact that he was in that. And yeah, I have to say, I'm still calling him Merton and referring to him as a man, even though he was voiced by Natasha Naomi. But yeah, that became the most interesting character to look up for a history nut like myself. While I love the history, I think the only way you really would have come across this is if you were actually a big Flash fan and read that one up, because he did make appearances for the Golden Age Flash. And while I do research all of DC's history, that one probably, even if I saw it, probably seemed like a footnote that I really didn't, that I just kind of saw was like a switch from the funny animal comic books and a switch. I kind of saw that as an example of when they were switching over from comic books, went from funny animals, cartoon strips, into superheroes, a la Superman, that I thought that kind of came. And I honestly thought, when I started to look at the Merton stuff, I thought this was going to be a variation of a character called Super Turtle, which was a parody version and actually did make it into DC Comics Presents in the Silver Age. They had a Super Turtle team up with him, which was basically just a turtle with a red cape on. But yeah, and that one is like more of a footnote. And yeah, to get this other character that had a long, rich history, longer than I even imagined, it's just one of those things that I always have felt like there's always more to learn, and no matter how much you love something, there's always something new to learn about it. So never stop looking into this stuff, because I mean, finding out new things about something that you already love only makes it better. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. I hope you enjoyed this little run through the history of DC Super Pets. And like I said, these were all at the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree, or the $1.25 tree, as we call it now. Yeah, I mean, I got all 5 of these for under $10. You can't really complain. Couldn't really complain. I don't even know if that I would have gotten more than the Ace the Bat Hound if they were actually something that was more into, if they costed anything more, like any other toys that you might find. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gotten these at all, but having gotten them and read after seeing the movie and learning more about them, it's actually cool that I've got the entire set of the cast of League of the Super Pets. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. Let me know down below who your favorite of the pets are. I'll take money right now saying that Ace is going to probably be the top spot as far as what people love. But I mean, come on, it's Batman related. You know he's gonna be at the top of the heap. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and never forget, life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're gonna be defined.